Hey guys, so we just got the pre-Obsidian Festival event announced. So this is the pre-event, not the actual event where you can grind materials with sanity, not this part. And also we got the Hellagur banner announced, where we are getting Hellagur, Astasia, and Mieto as new operators. And today I want to talk about should you be pulling this banner, not just each operator, but just the entire banner. Should you pull this banner or not? And my short answer is I would recommend most players to pull this banner, and I'll go into why as I talk more about each operators. So first of all, Hellagur, the real deal, right? Which most people think is the real deal, but he is a one block guard that can't be healed by other operators, so no medic going around and healing him, but instead he heals himself whenever he hits an enemy. He recovers 30 HP at E0, 50, and then 70 HP at E2. So you might think, oh yeah, that he can somehow recover himself, which he can do most of the time. His talent increases his attack speed as he loses HP, so yes, that actually helps with him attacking more and then recovering more HP at the same time, so this is really good. His second talent, only given when he's E2, is that when he's not blocking enemies, he recovers HP every second. This is also pretty good. His skill is the most important part in my opinion though. So his skill 1 is just that, yeah, normal skill. Just attack and then deal 2 hits. So recovers HP twice, or every 3rd hit. Pretty good, right? His second skill though is his main skill that I will be using personally. It increases his attack, and attack deals 2 hits for a duration of 13 seconds. Also, he gains 75% physical evasion. So you can think of this. You're letting Hellagur standing in a line where only one or like very few enemy coming at the same time, but they're all really high threat enemies. You can really just use him to deal with one single lane on himself, where he can hit enemies to recover his own health, and then he's got evasion, so which makes him even more tankier. So yes, there are several situations that you can really just use him to defend one line on himself. Really good. His skill 3 is a bit more niche, dare I say? Yes, he can attack multiple targets simultaneously, so you can let him stand behind tanks and hit an extra tile ahead, but I would say this is a bit more niche to my taste. Like, if I want to have an operator stand behind a tank, I can just use Silver Ash or something who can be healed anyway, so I don't need that non-healing ability. So that's Hellagur. Pretty good. Okay, next. Astasia. So first of all, one block guard, but think of her as a similar role as Moose. So if you guys remember that when we had the Granny event where I said that you can use Moose to single-handedly take down Big Bob on herself. Astasia is similar to her, but in the sense that they both deal spell damage, they both block 1, they're both pretty good at dealing damage and then defensive, like surviving. But the difference is, Moose can decrease enemy attack, when Astasia is more like damage-oriented skills, in my opinion. So yes, skill 1 is very generic, increase attack and increase defense, not too much to say about that. Her skill 2, on the other hand, allows her to block 1 extra, so she can block 2 enemies and attack multiple enemies equal to the block count. So she can hit 2 enemies at once, and she can have increased attack and increased defense. So really, you can think of her as a side upgrade of Moose. Sometimes you would still want to use Moose, but most of the time you can just use Astasia because she is that much better at dealing damage. If you find that Astasia can't really do the tanking, you can use Moose to decrease enemy attack by like 40%, which is insane. And then yeah, in those situations where the enemy has a insanely high defense, high attack, you can just use moves to survive better. Her talent is also very interesting, that she gets plus attack speed every 20 seconds after deployment. So yes, you will be keeping her on the field a lot more longer, and stacks up to 5 layers. So at max is like plus 25 attack speed, which is pretty awesome in my opinion. So yes, in general, Astacia is a really good operator that I think if you can, I would definitely recommend leveling her up if you get her. Now, out of all 3 operators, Myrtle is the lowest rarity, but in my opinion, she is like one of the most important operator in this entire banner. So, she is a Vanguard, okay? Her talent is that, her trait is that when she is using a skill, she can't block any enemy. So she won't be targeted by any melee enemies. So she is pretty good at surviving. Her talent is that when she is deployed on the field, all Vanguards recovers HP every second. You might think, oh, she's only recovering like 25 HP. That's not a huge deal. No. With this trait, you can have really interesting ways of playing things. So let's say you have Siege on the field with Myrtle on the field at the same time. Siege can be a lot more tankier and hence stay on the field for a way longer time than usual. But what's the benefit of that? So Myrtle, she is a beast at generating DP. She is the best operator at generating DP, dare I say. And yes, there will be multiple situations that will need that in the future, which I will be going in later in a spoiler section after I'm talking about these operators. But her skill 1 is just generating DP, pretty awesome. Her skill 2, on the other hand, is that she generates DP and heals nearby allies. So you can think of her as, if you plus that talent that recovers Vanguard HP, plus this skill 2, she is like a semi-heal. Very, very good. Herself isn't that tanky, so in my opinion, her use case is only really there just to regenerate DP. And why do I say that she is very important? After this, I want to go into the spoiler section. So for those of you who don't want spoilers, I would end the video here for you guys. Hope you guys do really well and get like all 3 of these operators in 10 pulls, which is my dream. Hope that happens to you guys. And here we go into the spoiler section. Okay. So, many of you know about an event called Contingency Contract. If you have if you don't mind any spoilers whatsoever, you would know about that. And Myrtle is like the queen for the second Contingency Contract, where she will be generating so much DP because for Contingency Contract, there are some modifiers that you can apply to the stage that decreases your natural DP region, and having Myrtle in your team ensures that you get enough DP to summon like all your good operators like Silver Ash, Saria, like even Ifrit if you want to. Like, she can generate all those DP for you. She also heals any allies near her with her second skill, so she can somehow replace a medics from time to time. And you can use her talent and then in place with Siege. So sometimes, like, I've seen people using strategies where they use Siege to tank the second CC, like a whole lane at the start of the stage, and Myrtle is the one that's keeping Siege alive. In chapter 6, there will also be several situations, especially a really difficult stage at H6 stages, where you would really want Myrtle to generate those DPs, because that stage is very, very strict on DP and you want to summon a lot of good operators at a very fast pace. And yes, Myrtle will come in handy in that situation as well. So another spoiler should I say, Hellagur. So the first CC that will be coming after Obsidian Festival and the second CC after that, there will both be use case of Hellagur. He is extremely good. He can tank off one lane damage himself with his skill 2, Mastery 3. Like in the second CC especially, he can tank off the top lane, a single lane on himself, which contains like bosses and all that. He can single-handedly tank the entire lane and kill all of them. Hellagur is extremely powerful. You will definitely, I think it's the second CC that he will become extremely good. The first CC, I know a strategy that clears like pretty much the highest difficulty CC with Hellagur. So yes, he is a must for me because I want to perform a similar strategy in that. And yeah, if you have Scotty, I've seen people using Scotty to do a similar thing in terms of CC, but yes, Hellagur is very, very powerful. So, last bit of spoilers, Astasia. So, Astasia is, yes, like I said, similar to Moose. The best I've seen her perform is the first contingency contract, which is coming after Obsidian Festival. And in that situation, she is extremely powerful. Especially with her skill 2 that she can block 2 enemies. She can really relieve the stress given to your other operators when, like, especially when your Silver Ash is charging his skill. Astasia is really good there to deal the extra damage that you need. Especially that she deals magic damage, and in the first CC there will be a lot of like really heavy armored enemies, so having that spell damage really helped. Actually there really isn't that much people using Astasia other than that I know, but you know, I would actually get her and level her up just for that situation anyway, because CC is like the hardest content that we will be getting anyway. And yeah, personally speaking, I would definitely get her. So that's the real end of this video. I hope you guys have a good luck pulling the banner. As I said, I think I will be pulling the banner like the reset after the banner has launched. So if you guys want to catch that, you can follow my Twitch. And I'll see you guys next time in the next video, where maybe I can talk more about Obsidian Fest, the actual stuff like Swords Banner and other stuff like that. But yeah, that would be like another 2 more weeks before that will happen. So yeah, I'll see you guys then. See ya.